Hello, this is James again, and I'm making a follow-up video from the last video. It had a lot of views on YouTube, and I thought it would only be awesome if we made a part 2 of this. So part 1 was why do good employees really quit? And part 2 is called King Solomon's #1 secret to employee loyalty. And by the way, CEOs ignore this in 2025, and most likely they're going to ignore it in 2026, 2027, and beyond until they actually start thinking about why their employees are quitting. It's so important to get this right, to have loyal employees. So let's begin this. Over 3,000 years ago, one man built the richest, most powerful kingdom the world had ever seen. And can you guess what that man's name was? That's right, King Solomon. He had thousands of workers, if not hundreds of thousands of workers. He had massive projects that lasted decades, and never once did his people quit. Why? Why is that? Very interesting. Not one top performer ever walked out. Well, unless they passed away, of course, but not one of them walked out. His name, again, was King Solomon. And today, in 2025, CEOs are losing their best employees left and right while completely ignoring the one simple secret that King Solomon used. Think about it. The economy right now seems kind of unstable. It was unstable in 2008 and 2000 through 2010. And before that, in 2000s, the early 2000s, the dot-com bubble. But why? What is the biggest reason why employees quit left and right? Now, there are layoffs, no doubt, which does not help the economy produce the economic engine to move forward. But also good employees. We have good employees quitting left and right nowadays. Why? So stay until the end, because what I'm going to show you is exactly how to use it before your next star employee hands off their notice. And if you're an employee, keep listening too, because there are some tips in here for you as well. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, if you watch my last video, why do good employees really quit? By the way, I want to say thank you for that. That really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. You definitely help YouTube spike that views up, and I really appreciate it. So I want to ask you a favor. If you really like what I'm giving here, please give me a thumbs up or comment below. And if you really like it, please subscribe to the channel as well. That would be just fantastic and awesome. Appreciate that. So this video here, that video there, it was blown up because the truth hurts, right? I mean, who wants to hear the truth? It's not negative news like when we watch the news, it's negative, but the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth, it's not cool. But guess what? Sometimes people have to hear the truth in order to change. And no one wants to hear it, including me sometimes. But in order for good change and better change to happen, we have to hear the truth. So, bad leaders are toxic, okay? And a lot of people on that last video quit their jobs because of that. But today, we're going to go back 3,000 years to one leader who got it just right. Almost perfect. Nothing's perfect in this world, but he got it almost perfect. And the biblical principle that kept his entire workforce loyal and motivated is coming up. We're getting there. So, here's Solomon's #1 secret. I'll just give it to you right now. He treated his workers as valuable human beings first and labor second. Not labor first and human beings second. Wrong. That sounds really simple, doesn't it? He treated his workers as valuable human beings. He valued them. That's kind of obvious though, right? But look around. In 2025, how many companies actually do this? There are some companies out there that do this. But there are a lot of companies out there that don't do this because they're so concerned about the freaking bottom line all the time. Now, I heard of a company recently, and I'm not going to say the names, but I'm talking to some people, and what they were saying is because the economy's getting tough, what they're starting to do to their salespeople, and I couldn't believe I heard this. It was like, what is going on here? They're doing this to their salespeople. They're starting to cut the commission of their salespeople. Like, stop! What are you doing? You don't do that during tough economic times. What you do if you want to make your company flourish, you need to incentivize your salespeople. So you say, for example, if you're a salesperson, right, and you heard this, I'm sure you jump at it. And this is just a quick example. Okay, let's say the CEOs or the CFOs come, or the sales manager or sales director, whoever in the company comes and says, you know what? We have incentives for our salespeople. We're not going to cut out the percentages of what y'all are getting. What they're going to do is, for example, they say, okay, if you make, I don't know, 100 sales in 90 days, you're going to get a $10,000 bonus or a $25,000 bonus or whatever is equivalent to what that sale would be. Now, is that not incentivizing? But if a company says, oh, you know what, the economy's tough, I'm really sorry, we're going to go ahead and have to slash some of the sales rates, this and that. Those are good employees who have helped the sale of the company, that have helped the sales for the company to help the company move up. Those good employers they're gone. And that company is going to even suffer more. So it's like they're setting up their own prophecy to fail more. You want to incentivize your sales employees. Come on now, think about it. If your company is suffering, you want to get the word out there, but you want to serve the people, your clients, your customers in the right way. Think about it, the Solomon framework, what I've been talking about for a while here. Okay, S stands for serve. O stands for observe. Okay, L stands for love. O stands for optimize. M stands for majestic. The next O stands for offer, and the next N stands for nourish. And we'll get into that as I'm building these videos, the King Solomon framework. I think every business, God revealed this to me, I think that every business should be built around the Solomon framework. Seriously. Because when you have the Solomon framework in place, what's the first letter? Serve. When you're out there serving, you've got not yourself in mind. You've got your clients, your internal customers, your employees, your external customers, your clients, your customers in mind. You're serving them. All starts with serve. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this video here of the King Solomon's secret, why his servants, his employees, hypothetically his employees, never left. He paid them fairly and upfront as well. In 1 Kings 5 of the Bible, it's talking about before a single stone of the temple was laid, Solomon made sure the workers from Tyre, King Tyre's, were paid. King Solomon said, give orders that the cedars of Lebanon be cut for me. My men will work with yours, talking to King Tyre, and I will pay you for your men whatever wages you set. So he said that to King Tyre. Whatever wages you set, King Tyre, I mean, think about that. Is any of this application being applied today? Are companies paying their employees on time? I hope so. Because if you don't employ your employees or you pay them on time, they're gone. I don't even want to get into the government furlough of how that was. Okay? I'm not even going to talk politics. But everyone has their own opinion on that one. Pay fairly. Not we'll get you next round nonsense. Also, King Solomon gave them rest. No burnout culture. For example, in 1 Kings 5, 13 through 14, 30,000 workers. They worked 1 month on and 2 months off. I mean, that's a lot today. But the secret to that was rotating shifts. Mandatory rest. King Solomon knew this. And he also knew that lots and lots and lots and lots of work exhausted people. And what happens when people are exhausted? They think, yeah, I got a family. I got this going on. I got the one going on. They leave. And then the thing is, if you want to have employees stay, if you want them to be loyal, don't burn them out. Because fresh people in their minds, they stay and they produce that gold for you, that cash flow for your company. King Solomon, he also honored excellence publicly. In Proverbs 22:29 it says, do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand, or she will stand before kings. I'm saying the Bible, he said. But he or she, those workers, do you see a man or a woman basically? I'm not twisting scripture here. I'm just saying in today's modern world, you see a man or a woman skillful in their work? They will stand before leadership and they get celebrated and they get promoted and everybody gives them a clapping hand for doing an excellent job. And King Solomon, when he made sure that these people would stand before kings, his workers, he celebrated and made sure everyone saw it as well. He listened, by the way, King Solomon, he listened until his son stopped listening. His son messed it up. So here, when Solomon's son, for example, a quick example, when Solomon's son, Rehoboam, took over, he made a comment. It wasn't a good comment. He ignored the people. And he said, which was basically not true, my father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions. Like, come on, man, really? The result? The kingdom of Israel split in half overnight. What's the lesson of that? When leaders stop listening to their employees, the best people don't argue. They're not going to stand there and argue with you. They just leave. They put in a 2 weeks notice or they quit. They're gone. Adios, sayonara, bye. And then the company's like, what happened? Because y'all know, as leaders, when a good employee leaves, it takes time to retrain. It takes effort to retrain. It takes money to retrain. Okay, so keep your good people out there, folks. And if you're a good employee and you really know you're a good employee, think about where you want to be. Okay? If you want to stay with your company or not, it's your life. It's your choice. You don't have to be staying for a company for this long or that long. But if you like your company, I completely encourage you to stay there. Because I'm encouraging you to stay there. The reason why I'm encouraging you to stay there is because if that company is really taking care of you, and they're providing, and they're doing their best, and you work with a great team. Now, granted, we all have different personalities. I've been on some teams where it is just a bunch of freaking jerks. Okay? And at times, I'll be honest, I've been a jerk at times too. But here's the deal. We all are learning as well in life. Not to be jerks, per se. So anyway, here's a modern application we can get in 2025. Here's exactly what I want you to do this week. Ask, if you're a leader, ask every top performer on your team privately, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to still be here in 12 months? And what would make it a 10? Then shut up. Shut your mouth and listen to your employee, what they're saying. It is so important to listen. Too many people are talking nowadays. Fix the one thing that they mention. Even if it's an uncomfortable fix, fix it. And then publicly celebrate one person this week on your team who went above and beyond. Name them, thank them, make it visible. People love appreciation. If you don't appreciate people, guess what? They're gone. So anyway, publicly celebrate them. Do this and you'll be using the exact same principle that kept Solomon's kingdom together for 40 years. So I'm just going to close here. Keep this in mind. Okay? Companies that treat people like Solomon are growing and keeping their best people. Companies that treat people like Rehoboam, Solomon's son, they're toast. Remember, as a leader, the choice is yours. Okay? And with that, please, we're going to end the video. It's done. Thank you for listening, hanging out. Please drop a comment if you believe leaders should start acting more like King Solomon in 2025. And if you're a leader, drop a comment in there. It's up to you to drop this. What you could do, or some ideas that leaders can do to improve their company. Not necessarily what you could do, but what are some ideas, because you don't want to be called out, because I know how leaders are. And that's okay, I understand. Drop a comment in there on how some companies, or what some companies could do to help employees better. But don't say the company's name. Just say, I think that some companies should do this to help that employees better. And by the way, part 1, if you missed it, I'm going to go ahead and put up the link of why good employees really quit. Also, please subscribe and hit that like button. Really appreciate it. And hey, guess what? Thanks for watching. Lead wisely. Lead wisely. Lead godly. Lead like Solomon. God bless you. Thank you for your time.